Augie. Forced into early retirement, Felix Greystone falls in love with a virtual reality partner to the detriment of his relationship with his wife and daughter. This Australian science fiction and drama movie, originally released in 2019 and re-released in 2021, seems to be an adaptation of the movie Her of 2013 with Joaquin Phoenix, so it's not original at all. The performances of the entire cast are good, and the story unfolds well and is entertaining, so we give it 3 stars out of 5. Awake. After a sudden global event that wipes out electronic devices and humanity's sleeping ability, chaos begins to consume the world. Only Jill, a former soldier with a troubled past, could hold the key to a cure in her own daughter. The question is, will Jill be able to deliver her daughter safely and save the world before she herself loses her sanity? This drama, thriller and science fiction movie has an interesting plot, but in the film is not, as it's showcased in a boring, dull and illogical manner with ridiculous and exaggerated parts. A fatal editing error. The performances of the entire cast, special effects, set designs and the story's ending are all mediocre, so we give it 1 star out of 5. Brothers by Blood. A story of families, friendships and betrayal in the violent world of the Philadelphia Mafia. This drama, action and crime movie is your typical movie about a gangster, mafia-involved family that explores the relationship between brothers. The performances, set designs and overall plot are average, so we give it 2 stars out of 5. Dark Spell. Senya, who suffers because her husband no longer loves her, decides to cast a spell called Black Wedding, which is a magical ritual known for its great power to make him love her again. Now, she must face the sinister consequences of casting such a spell. This Russian horror, drama and thriller movie has an interesting story, although a bit predictable and slow in some parts. The performances of the entire cast are decent. Costume design, makeup, set designs and special effects are all good, and the film is entertaining, so we give it 3 stars out of 5. Flashback. After a chance encounter with a forgotten man from his youth, Fred literally and metaphorically travels to his past. He slowly begins to unravel a long-hidden mystery about a missing girl, a drug named Mercury, and a terrifying creature that has followed him into adulthood. This drama, thriller, and mystery movie has a confusing, complicated, and somewhat crazy plot that tries to cover too much, making it difficult to understand what everything means. The performances of the entire cast are average, especially of the main character, which is not credible and is somewhat dull. Both the scenography and the special effects are interesting, and the film is worth watching as a brain candy option, so we give it 2 stars out of 5. Land. After a series of events, Edie loses the ability to bond with the world and the people around her. Tired of her life, she decides to isolate herself from the world and retire to a cabin in a forest where she meets a local hunter who helps her learn to survive alone and ends up changing her life. This drama movie was enjoyable to watch with a good message. The story is realistic and believable with some moving moments. The performances of both main characters are good, together with nice visuals that allow the story to unfold easily without exaggerations or boring parts, so we give it 3 stars out of 5. Locked Down. Linda and Paxton are a troubled couple who decide to pause their separation with one goal: to take advantage of the confinement due to the global pandemic and try to carry out a jewelry theft in Harrods store. This drama, comedy and crime movie has an entertaining story with plenty of British humor moments. Some parts are slow and hard to believe, especially those dealing with a robbery, but overall the story and how it unfolds keeps you entertained with decent performances of the entire cast. So we give it 3 stars out of 5. Oslo. The true story of the negotiations between Israelis, Palestinians, and a Norwegian couple that led to the Oslo Peace Accords of 1993. This historical drama movie based on true events is actually a film adaptation of a theater play of the same name. The overall story, the performances, costume and set designs are all good, and if you enjoy movies of this genre, then this is a good option to watch. So we give it 3 stars out of 5. Pieces of a Woman. Martha and Sean are expecting their first child. Convinced to give birth at home, they call a midwife when Martha begins to have contractions. Although initially everything seems to be going well, the baby is born with a heart problem and dies within a few minutes, despite the attempts of the midwife to revive him. From that moment on, Martha's life begins to fall apart. This drama movie has an emotionally charged, sad, realistic and moving story with good performances, especially from Vanessa Kirby, who transmits the pain of a mother who has just lost her child in a credible and emotional manner. The overall story is decent, so we give this production 3 stars out of 5. Supernova. This film is a moving story of 2 men who are deeply in love, but soon this love will end as one of them is aware that he is in the final stage of Alzheimer's disease, losing many of his abilities to understand the world around him, and soon he will not even be able to recognize his husband's face or name. This British drama movie has a sad and moving story that makes you reflect in how difficult it is to say goodbye to a loved one. The performances of both main characters are very good and help to appreciate how the story unfolds in the film, together with a pleasant scenography, so we give it 3 stars out of 5. The Djinn. A mute boy is trapped in his apartment with a sinister monster after having asked for a wish to fulfill his greatest heart's desire. This drama and horror movie has a dull, predictable, not well realized and unconvincing story that is not scary at all. The performance of the boy actor and the special effects are both average, so we give it 2 stars out of 5.